Hi and welcome to another very exciting tutorial. Today we are going to improve the Swiffer app that we've created in the last tutorial, and what we are going to do is integrating push notifications so that our list of tweets is updated automatically when another tweet. As you know, we have created an app like Twitter, so our tweets are called tweets, and what we want to do today is updating the list of tweets automatically when we create a new tweet on another device. So let me give you a quick demo when pressing the plus button here. I'm going to write hello, nice to tweet you, and I'm going to send that. And automatically now we should see that on the right side there is this new tweet popping up automatically. So this is very cool. Now let me give you a quick explanation how this is going to work. So let's have a quick look at the Apple documentation, and we have two devices here, a Mac and an iPhone. And once I add a new record from the Mac to the cloud, we will get a new notification because our iPhone application saved a subscription to the cloud. So there is both all of our tweets in the cloud, and there is also the possibility to save a subscription to the cloud. So this is pretty cool because now that there is a subscription existing in the cloud automatically tells us what to send to the user's device. And there are also a few benefits to using CloudKit notifications. For example, in comparison to parse, where we had to create certificates, upload these certificates to the parse backend to be allowed to receive and send push notifications, we don't even have to activate push notifications as a capability. Another benefit is that the push notification is only sent to other devices except the device that the original message or tweet originated from. So this is pretty cool. And to get started, just move to the last tutorial and download the tutorial files. I already did that. Let's bring up Xcode and start right away. And we're going to move to AppDelegate here, since we want to receive push notifications. And as you know, the user has to consent that he wants to receive push notifications from this application. So what we have to do is go to application did finish launching with options in our AppDelegate, and first of all make some settings for receiving push notifications. So let's call this constant notification settings, and what we want to do is creating an object of UI user notification settings. And then when we can initialize this object for types with categories, we only want to use types, we don't need categories here. And what we want to do here is give this an array of all of the types that we want to receive, and actually the only thing that we want is an alert here. We could also register for a badge, let's also do that, and a sound which we will not receive, but these are the possibilities that we have, and as I told you, we do not need the categories here. And so this is the first step. The next step is going to register these user notification settings, and we're going to do that by using UI application, shared application, and then register user notification settings, and then enter our notification settings here. And then what we also need to do is register for remote notifications. So all we have to do again is using UI application, shared application, and then register for remote notifications. So because we have registered for remote notifications, we also need to implement another delegate function here in AppDelegate. So let's also quickly do that, which is application did receive remote notifications with a user info object as a parameter. We will implement this function later, but this is the general things that we need to do to get started. So what we need to do next is actually registering the subscription with CloudKit. So let's go to our Suite Table View controller and create a function that is actually only going to be called once after the app is installed by the user. So let's call this setup CloudKit Subscription. We don't need any parameters here, and what we want to do with this function is actually setting up the subscription that I showed you a moment ago and save it to our CloudKit container. So first of all, we need to specify for what kind of records we want to receive updates. As you can see here, when we save suites to the cloud, we are using a CK record for the objects, and we defined a new record type that is called suite. And we only want to look for suites in the cloud, and as soon as a new suite is generated, we want to be informed about that. So what we need to do here is first of all create a predicate that states that we want to be informed about all of the suites that are coming. So let's do that as predicate format. And this is going to be a true predicate, and we don't need an argument array here. So this is actually just to fill the parameter list of our next object. So this is going to be the subscription. So we're going to use a CloudKit subscription, so CK subscription, and as you can see here, we are going to use this initializer for a record type with a predicate and options. So the record type that we want is of course a suite. We only want to look for suites, and the predicate is the predicate that we have to insert, but there is actually nothing we state here. We could use this predicate, for example, to only get suites that were created today or last week or whatever, or if you have another parameter like a username or something like that, that you only want to register for being informed about suites by a particular person. But this is all up to you how you want to configure this subscription. And now this is the interesting part for CK subscription options. As you can see, we can let it fire once on record creation, on record deletion, or on record update. And we want the option for record creation, so that as soon as a new suite record is created, we're going to be informed. So this was the first step. Now let's build the notification. So let's call this notification info. And this is going to be a CK notification info object. We were just initializing that. So what we want to do now is giving this notification info object some more detailed information about what to show when a user receives a remote notification. And we can, for example, state what should be the content of the banner when it moves down, or if the batch number should increment when we receive, so the little red circle in the upper right corner of the app icon is the batch, if this should be incremented. So what we want to do now is using the notification info object and add a alert localization key, which is going to be new suite, so that the user knows that there's a new suite. And we also want to display an incremental batch, so we activate should batch. And that's it, actually, what we want to do with this notification info. Now we can add it to the subscription itself. So let's use our subscription and assign our notification info to the notification info property of the subscription object. And what this does is that the CloudKit service knows what to display or what the contents of the push notification actually should be when it sends it to other devices. So actually the subscription is already set up, and now we can save it. So therefore we create a public data object using the CK container, the default container, and then the public cloud database. And then we simply use the public data object and save subscription with a completion handler. And then all we need to do is state the subscription as a parameter, and then we have a completion handler here where we get a subscription and an error as a parameter. So, and if the error is not equal to nil, what we want to do is print the error that occurred so that we can debug it properly. And in any other case, we can tell our application that we never want to do this setup again. So you only need to do this once. So how can we do that? Let's therefore create user defaults object, so user defaults, and use and as user defaults standard user defaults. And as you know, user defaults is a great way to say something like settings or such an information about did we already subscribe to a to this subscription actually. And what we want to do now is check if user defaults and a bool for a specific key, we call it subscribed, is true or not. And we will simply ask if we did not subscribe, then we want to perform this setup. So let me just cut this and paste it here. And in any other case, we need to do nothing. And to make sure that this is going to be set to true, what we want to do here in our completion handler is that if we really subscribed, we want to use the user defaults and set a bool true for the key. And let me just copy that here. Subscribed. And then all we need to do is save the user defaults by calling synchronize. And that's it. And then we only need to call setup CloudKit subscription here. Let's say before load data in our view.load function in our view controller. So let's use the simulator for now. Let's use -6s and run this. And the first thing that should happen now is we should be asked if we want to allow this application to use notifications. We say okay, and then what we also can do is bring up our CloudKit dashboard and have a look at the subscription types in the schema. And as you can see here, we now have a new subscription type called suite, and the trigger is insert. So as soon as a new suite is created, a new suite record is inserted to the database, this subscription fires and gives us a notification. So this is the setup. Now, how can we go further? Let's go back to AppDelegate and handle our remote notification. We already created a did receive remote notification delegate function here. So what we want to do now is use our user info object to handle the notification that we received. So let's create a CloudKit notification object, and this is going to be CK notification. And as you can see, we can't use it, so we have to import CloudKit first. So now we should be able to use CK notification. And we can then simply initialize it with a notification dictionary, which is our user info. But what we have to do here is cast it. So use the user info, and then we will cast that to a dictionary with string and NS object. And that's all there is to it. Now we have a CK notification object, and what we can do here now is we can check if CloudKit notification and the notification type is equal to CK notification type query. Then what we want to do is actually tell our table view controller to reload data, and therefore we can use another kind of notification, but this is not a local push notification or remote push notification. It is a notification that calls a different part in our code, and therefore we use the NS notification center and the default center, and we simply post a notification with a name and object, and the name is going to be perform reload, and the object is going to be nil. Because we do not need it. Since we want something to happen when on our user interface, when we trigger this notification, we want the update to be visible to the user. What we also should do is perform that on the main thread. So let's call dispatch asynchronously the following code, and let's get the main queue, and then we will simply put this line of code into this dispatch block, and then this is going to happen on the main thread. And then we have to add an observer to our table view controller, so that we have something that listens for this notification, and then we can, let's do that right below setup CloudKit subscription and use NS notification default center, and then add observer. And then what we are going to need is our view controller as observer. The selector that we want to call is load data, and the name that we want to listen to when we listen for notifications that are being fired is going to be perform reload. I think let's check that. Perform reload, copy that, paste that here, and again, no object is necessary here. And also, again, let's also copy that from here. We are going to use this dispatch block to make sure that the load data function is called on the main thread so that we can see something. All right, so now every time we receive a push notification, we should be able to call load data automatically. And the only thing that we should add in load data to make sure that we really see something is we should call self.view and layout subviews to make really sure that every time we call load data, we see changes happening. And that's all there is to it. And now let's select the iPhone and give it a try. So here we go. I just brought up the simulator and the reflector app so that you can see what's happening on the real device, because you should always test stuff like push notifications on a real device and in the simulator. And I'm going to add a new suite. So next try, let's send it and see what happens. And there we go. Our next try did work. It automatically added itself to our table view controller. So next up is going to be to handle the badges. So let me go back here. Let's send a new suite. New suite, and there we go. We should receive a push notification. And as you can see, we get 3 push notifications here at the moment because we did not reset our batch counter, or we have even 4. And let me do another one and send that, and then we get even to 5 or 6 or whatever. So what we need to know 5, and now we need to update that again, and this all needs to be a little better because the badge also does not disappear. So what do we do? Let's go back to AppDelegate, and right below did receive remote notification, we will add a new function. Let's just call that reset batch. Does not need any parameters. And to reset the batch, we need a so-called modify batch operation. So let's create such an object. So let's call that batch reset. Batch reset, and this is going to be a CK modify batch operation. And now we just have to state what kind of batch value we want, and obviously we want 0 since we're resetting the batch. And then to make this change also happen in the background for our application, we need to add completion block to this batch reset operation. So we will simply add one, modify batch completion block, and as you can see, this expects a function here. So let's give it one. So we have a function here. We have one parameter error, and then we return nothing here. And then we can check if the error is equal to nil. So if nothing happened, and it actually shouldn't happen anything bad here, we can use UI application, shared application, and then we can use application icon badge number and set this to 0. And then all we need to do is use our CK container, default container, and add an operation, and then we will simply add the batch reset here. And that's all there is to it. And now we have to call it on 2 occasions. First of all, when the application did become active, we want to call reset badge. But also, if the application did enter background, we also want to reset the badge, because every time we receive the notification, even if the app is running, our badge number increments. So again, let's call reset badge. And also what we want to do is we want to perform, again, a reload when our application enters foreground. So this is going to be, let's just copy this, this patch block again and put it here in application will enter foreground, so that every time our application runs, we can actually see all the changes that happened. So let me run this again, and then we will see what happens. So I have my iPhone with the Reflector app again on the right side. So let's see. I'm going to add a new suite, and there we go. There is our new suite. Let's add another one. So second, and the batch increments. And now let's have a look at the app. We started, and our 2 new suites have also arrived. We close the app, and the batch count disappears. And let's add a third one. And as you can see, the batch starts at 1 again. So now we have improved our Swiffer app with great push notification functionality. And as you have seen, it is really, really easy to subscribe to a to such record updates actually from CloudKit, and not being without the need to actually create any certificates, adding anything to in the developer center, not having to activate any capabilities, automatically sending push notifications to every device except for the device which sends or creates a new record. This is really, really cool. So have fun implementing that in your applications, and we'll see you soon.